started. That burning question. That was my burning question since those chamois butters arrived. Why are they coconut? All right. Let's see, this is what? Week number 4? Super happy with week number 4. Had a few people inquire about when's the Thursdays coming? So they'll come eventually. But for now, Tuesdays are a good day. The good thing about a Tuesday session too is you get to ride over the weekend. You get to have maybe a little lighter day on Mondays. And then you get to work hard on Tuesday. And then depending on what you do on Wednesdays, you might take a little easier day that day. So you guys all know the drill. Water bottle full, fan nearby. Let me turn on my ceiling fan. Towel. All of your accoutrements, your computer, whatever you use to gauge your efforts. Because tonight you're going to utilize those effort gauging devices. We are going to kind of use cadence, gearing, and a little bit of effort tonight. So you're going to need all 3 of those. For most of you, I think there may only be a couple of you who don't have either heart rate or power zones. So for those of you that don't have that kind of data, you're going to be using your own scale of a rate of perceived exertion, which means you get to decide how easy or how hard you do an effort. So everybody has a different scale. And of course, everybody's scale is going to, if you don't have those metrics, then your own personal scale will work just fine. So right now, everybody should be in their small ring, in the easiest gear on your bike, just letting your legs spin, just to get ourselves warmed up. So as I said in my email, tonight I called this workout Climb the Ladder. So we're going to climb a couple of ladders today. We're going to climb first a zone ladder, which is where that rate of perceived exertion is going to come in, or your metrics of heart rate or power. And then the second ladder, we're going to actually use time as our ladder. So we're going to use, of course, cadence, as we always do. Hopefully, if there's anybody that doesn't have cadence, and you have a Garmin, a Wahoo, or some kind of device, it's easy enough to get a cadence sensor to help you get that cadence data. So cadence is a really great metric to use indoors because it helps you to keep you on track. Plus, helps you build leg speed, endurance, and you look much cooler when your legs are spinning around when you get outside. So if you don't have that cadence monitor, you can always use me as your gauge. I will call out to you what cadences I'm in so you can follow me during those cadence sections. So I'm going to kind of make this a little harder on us tonight to get us started. And those of you that are a little new to the group, standing up is always a difficult one. So tonight we're going to start not with our typical 30 seconds of hard effort, 30 seconds of easy or something along that lines. Tonight we're actually going to do 10 seconds standing, 10 seconds seated. And we're going to go for 5 minutes doing that. But I'm going to give you a gear. It's going to help you through the standing process. Just remember when you stand, the gear is going to help you. But I also want you with your hands in your hoods when you stand, and you're going to go straight up. So your hips will stay over your ankles. And if you feel your saddle just slightly touching the insides of your thighs, then you know you're doing the right thing. If your legs are choppy, that's okay. You haven't built up those stabilizer muscles yet to get your body to understand how to stand up, but it'll come. So trust the process. All right, so let's get started then. I want everybody in their big ring. So if you're in your small ring now in the front, you're going to use your left shifter to shift up. And I'm going to have everybody shift 4 gears harder. So you're around your 19 or so. If you feel like you need a little bit more gear, that's fine. All we're going to do is 10 seconds standing, 10 seconds seated, no shifting. 3, 2, 1. Stand it up. In your hoods, just be relaxed. Nice and tall. Sitting back down. When you sit back down, just settle in. Try to keep the same leg speed consistently, and up. I'll just say up and down so you'll know what to do. And down. If you're not aware of what your hoods are, that's where your brakes are. Unless you have a straight bar and you don't have hoods. Up. I think I messed this up. So sit back down. Let's get back on track. This will go fast. Up, 1 minute down. Up, up, up. Staying up for 10. And back down. Gonna try to keep this. And up. Nice and consistent. If the legs are starting to burn, that's exactly what we want. Sitting down. Feel that same pace. And up. If you're looking at your cadence, you might be around 70 to 80. And down. That's fine. That's what we want. 2 minutes down and up. Heart rate starting to come up a little. Down. Starting to get a little sweat process starting. That's fine. And up. Find yourself sitting down gingerly. Down. Don't plop down. Get control. And up. Almost coming to 3 minutes. And down. Here we go. 3 minutes done. Up. Make this all look the same. You're nice and fresh now. Down. Sticking with it. It's a warm-up. Up. And down. Good. If you feel like this is getting to be much, then go ahead and sit out for one. Up. Just keep the legs moving. And down. Coming up on 4 minutes. Last minute of the warm-up. Up. It's a good gear. Sitting down. It's enough resistance. Not too easy. Not too hard. Up. Keep the legs moving. Down. One more 10 seconds of standing. Up. Last time standing. 3, 2, sitting back down. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Small ring. Easy gear. Right back to spinning the legs out. A little recovery. Take a drink. You know the drill. Every time we have a rest tonight, take a drink. Our longest effort tonight is 3 minutes. So if you're somebody who's not very good at drinking on the bike in the middle of an effort, use that as time to practice. Know that you can grab your bottle even though your legs are moving. I can grab my bottle, take it to my mouth and put it back in, and I haven't stopped my legs from moving. So this is a perfect place to practice that. All right, so here's how the next set's gonna go. You're gonna do 3 3-minute efforts. Each one is gonna have its own cadence, and each one is gonna have its own effort level. So we're starting to go kind of up the zone ladder here. So the first 3-minute effort, I want you to be near the bottom of your zone 3. So if you're somebody who doesn't have any data in terms of zones, you're going to go to an effort of about a 7. You're going to get 2 minutes of easy in between. Then that next effort of 3 minutes, you're going to move to the top of your zone 3. Then the next 3-minute effort, you're going to get to the bottom of your zone 4. So if you were at a 7 for the first, you'll be at an 8 for the second effort, and you'll be at a 9 for the third effort. Each one of these is going to have a different cadence and a different gearing. So the first one, I want you in your small ring. You pick the gear. I want the cadence between 90 and 100. And again, the bottom of zone 3. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So you're going to have to pick the right gear. So I'm right at 100 cadence. And I'm in my 19. And I'm right at the bottom of my zone 3. So follow my legs if you need a cadence. Pick your proper effort level based on your power or your heart rate zone, or your rate of perceived exertion of a 7. Be consistent here. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for you to climb the ladder, stay within the parameters, and make these efforts strong. Don't go harder than you need to here. Because trust me, you're going to need it later when we start to build this up a little bit. That's what ladder efforts are for. To kind of build the effort so that at the last couple, you're really having to work to hold that effort level. We're almost halfway there. So think about those body metrics. Nice, comfortable hands. Little bend in the elbows. Light legs if you have light feet. Light feet mean you're using the upward part of the stroke. We're coming up on 2 minutes. The more relaxed your upper body is, the better and more efficient your lower body can work. Keep it going. You're going to get a nice 2 minutes in between. So if you're holding a heart rate right now and a cadence, keep that in your head, because the next effort, you're going to bump that up a few beats or a few wattage levels. The cadence, I'll let you know what we're doing there once we get there. We're going to change that up. 10 seconds to go. Don't let that cadence drop. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Small ring. Let yourself recover. And you know the drill. Take a drink. Take a drink. Gonna have that bottle consumed by the end. All right, so that wasn't so bad, right? 3 minutes at the bottom of zone 3 is very manageable. You can stay there forever. So now you're going to bump it up to the top of zone 3 or around an 8, let's say. And this time you're going to go, you don't have to go there yet, but you're going to be in your big ring, whatever gear keeps you at the right heart rate, power, or rate of perceived exertion. And you're going to have your cadence between 60 and 70. So a little more strength is going to go into this next one. But you're also going to bump up your effort. So let's say your heart rate was at 130. You should be trying to get to 135 or so, depending on what your chart tells you, for those of you that have that data. All right, 30 seconds till we start. So think about, when I count it down, you're going to go to big ring. You're going to get to 60 to 70 cadence, and you're going to hold it right at the top of zone 3. So here, you still should be able to manage this. It shouldn't be super hard, but just a little harder than that last effort. All right, go ahead and find big ring. That's your left hand. Find the gear that you think 60 or 70 is. And then, of course, you can shift one way or the other. All right. I have to do it myself. Get myself to the right gear, because I don't want to go too hard and get into my zone 4, but I don't want to have too easy of a gear and be further down in the zone 3. So here I am. One more gear down. A little lower on that cadence. I'm right at 70, and I'm right where I want to be. in my power range. Same for you. Might have taken you a little while to get it dialed in. Now know, when you reduce your cadence, your heart rate might not have to work as hard because the legs aren't going around as fast. So this one's a little harder to dial in. And just like the last one, same effort from start to finish. Halfway point. Hold on to that same effort for the next minute and a half. I started making a list of things that I use when you're winter riding. I think the one thing that's on the top of my list is having a buff. Something over your face keeps the rest of your body warm. So if you haven't gotten a Double Star coaching buff yet, I still have them. But that buff is key. Keeps your neck warm, can keep your head warm, definitely keeps your face warm. But I think the most important thing it does, it keeps the cold air from going down your throat and into your lungs. It's kind of like a filter. So if you haven't ever used a buff on a cold day, give it a try. It's a good piece of equipment to have. 15. This one went fast. When I tell stories, it always goes fast. 3, 2, small ring, easy gear, 2 minutes easy. Take a drink. All right, this next one. This is where you're going to get challenged from a heart rate perspective. And that's why it's going to be not so hard if you do it right to get into the bottom of your zone 4 or around a 9 out of 10. This one's 3 minutes. It's going to be small ring. Don't have to go, you're already there, but you don't have to go to the gearing yet. Allow yourself this recovery. We're going to try to hold 100 plus. So those of you that have been around for a while, I'd like to see you hold at least 105 to 110, even if you can get and hold 120. So 100 plus. It's 3 minutes. It's small ring and you're picking the gear that will allow you to get to that power heart rate or number 9 on the RPE scale. So this is why I'm saying enjoy the recovery in between, because when the hard efforts come, you want to have the legs to be able to do it. Those 2 previous efforts just kind of got you a little more warmed up. All right, so we got 20 seconds till we start. I'll count it down so you can figure out what gear you want to be in. And again, just like the last effort, it might take you a little while to dial it in. All right, so find that gear, whatever you think will work for you. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Bring up that cadence, holding it tight. I'm going to see if I can get to 105, 110, right where I want to be. Now, I always notice when I get to these higher cadences, the first thing I do is tighten my core and get myself to sit up so I can get my hips over the legs. If I'm too far here, I can't get enough power into the pedals. If my body is tall, and then I sit down into my bars, then I can stay where I need to be. And if you keep those feet light, that'll get them around. 1 minute down. I'm sure you're feeling your heart rate rising. That's what we want. Remember this feeling, because you're going to need it for the next ladder. Halfway there. So the other thing about winter training, keeping your hands warm. If you don't own a set of lobster claws, which are gloves, they kind of look like nanu. It helps your fingers stay warm because you have another finger right next. 2 minutes down. The other thing you can do is put some hand warmers in your gloves. You can just put them on the tops of your hands, inside your glove. And that'll keep your hands warm. Just make sure you don't get gloves that are too tight. You need a little bit of air circulation so that the heat can move around in the glove. 10 to go. Three, two, one. Easy gear. Whew. Good job, guys. Now you've done the 3 minutes of metric ladder. This next ladder is a time ladder. Every one of these efforts is going to look the same. Gearing similar, cadence similar, heart rate, power, and RPE similar. The time for effort and time of recovery are different. So we're going to do, make sure you take a drink here again. We're starting with a 1 minute effort and a 1 minute rest. 1:30, 1:30 rest. 2 minute, 2 minute rest. 3 minute. Each of these, I want you to be in the same zone that you were just in. Zone 4. I don't care if you go to the top of zone 4 or the middle or the bottom. Just be in zone 4. So it should feel like an effort. If I ask you to talk to me, you should be talking in short, maybe 3-word sentences. That's how you can gauge your effort. Your cadence, to keep that consistent, is 95 to 105. Your gearing, if you can stay in your small ring and get the effort right, then do that. If your gearing is too easy or you need to get in your big ring to make it happen, you may do that. So lots of freedom on your gearing tonight. All right, so find a gear, small ring, 95 to 105 cadence. It's a 1 minute effort. So it's going to be almost like a sprint here. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Zone 4. Hold it the whole time. I'm at 115. I need to shift to a little harder gear, slow down my cadence, but keep the effort where I need it to be. Here we go. 103. Right in my zone 4. Even pedaling. Think about it even. Get that torso tall. Keep the legs moving. Three, 2, 1. Take a break. 1 minute easy. Take a drink. Remember the gear you were in. Remember the cadence. This next effort, 1.5 minutes. Hopefully, staying right in that same zone. So if you saw 150 as your, and I'm just using a fictitious number, everybody's heart rate will be different. You saw 150 and you were at 100 cadence, do it again. That is if 150 was in your zone 4. The nice part about these next couple is you're going to get equal rest to effort. All right, we're coming up on 1.5 minutes. Find that gear. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Nice and consistent. 30 seconds longer. So you might need to gauge your effort a little differently than you did for the minute. This is also teaching you how to pace yourself. If you bust out of the gun all the time, you're going to be wasting some energy that you might not need or might not have at the end. I'd rather you start slower and build than bust out and die. Man, I got to get a different trainer. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but it's like creaking all over the place. Minute down. $15 to go. Hold on to it. Don't let it drop. 3, 2, 1. Easy gear. Take a drink. Towel off. 1.5 minutes recovery. Woohoo! Love that. So what do you wear when it comes to colder temperatures? Layer it up. Start with an undershirt and build from there. So typically I would go undershirt, maybe short sleeve jersey, long sleeve jersey, vest. And on top of that, you might consider something that's either a wind barrier, like a rain jacket, or you might consider something that's like wind stopper. And of course, the nice part about layers is you can always peel them off. And hopefully you have pockets big enough to put them in. But you also have to gauge your own body temperature. All right, we're coming up on the next effort. 2 minutes this time. Everything else stays the same. Cadence is the same. Zone is the same. It's just now 2 minutes long. 3, 2, 1, let's go. And again, you got to pace here. Those of you that have power, it's nice because it's instantaneous power. Heart rate, you guys should be paying attention to how quickly your heart rate's coming down from effort to effort. If it's quickly coming down, then it's showing that you have some fitness. If it's slowly coming down, then you have some work to do. Almost to the 1 minute mark. Don't drop your effort. 1 minute to go. Stay consistent. Let the legs do the work. Upper body is steady. If you feel yourself doing this, then tighten up your core. That'll settle it down. 30 seconds. Higher cadence. Come on now. 10 to go. 5, 3, 2. Woo! Nice and easy. Take a drink. You're getting 2 minutes easy. Then you're going to go to the hardest one of the night. A 3-minute effort. At the same level. So, definitely need to pace on this one. If you were able to hold, let's say upper zone 4 for the 1 minute effort, you might need to bring that reality down to the middle or lower part of zone 4 for a longer effort, especially because it's near the end of the workout. Body's getting tired. You need to just make sure you can hold the zone 4 effort for that 3 full minutes. You did it in the first set, so I know you can do it again. Another thing to consider in these colder temperatures is wearing some kind of beanie underneath your helmet. But know that if you're on the ride and you start to get warm, the first thing you might want to do is just take your beanie off. Just getting a little bit of cooler air in your head will help your body core temperature stay a little colder. That's why when you see racers pouring water over their heads, that's why they're doing it. Because they're just trying to cool themselves down. All right, here we go. 3-minute effort, same cadence, maybe the same gear. 3, 2, 1. Settle in. Might need the same, might need to change your gears a little bit. Just find that place that you know you can hold for the full 3 minutes. Your goal for this is to try not to let that effort drop at any point. You guys all look like you're freezing on me. I hope that's not the case. Some of you are moving, some of you aren't. Let's keep it going. There we go. Everybody's back. Just in time for me to say 1 minute down. Keep your head in the game. Keep your focus. Keep that cadence right where it is. Halfway there. You got this. Another piece of equipment, some wool socks. As long as you can get some airflow into your shoes. 2 minutes down. 1 to go. If your shoes are too tight, then your feet will probably be cold. Come on now. Almost to the end. Keep it going. 25 to go. Positive talk to yourself. 10 to go. 3, 2, 1. Woo-hoo. Nice. Nice job. Nice easy recovery here. One more short effort. Hopefully by now you're near the end of that water bottle. Your fan's been working efficiently, keeping you cool. I know in our house, when we do trainer sessions together, we turn the heater off completely so that we keep the house nice and cool. So of course, when we're done, it's freezing in the house. So you get to take a shower in a freezing cold bathroom, but it's worth it. I think though, as we prepare for Dirty Kansas / Unbound in 2022, I think we need to do all of our workouts with the heater on, because more than likely Kansas in the first week of June is going to be rather warm, or should I say hot, since there are no trees on the course for 200 miles. Oh yeah, what have I gotten myself into? We got out of it for 2 years. We're signed up now. No backing out. All right, let's keep this going for another 30 seconds, which is going to be a little shorter recovery than the previous. All I want you to do is, we're going to do actually 2 minutes worth of exactly what we did when we started. 10 seconds of standing, 10 seconds of seated. I want you to see what the legs have left in them. So we're going to go back to that big ring. Go ahead and find it. Shifting down, 4 shifts. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1, standing up. It's a good way to finish. So you're feeling strong. After that ladder, sitting back down. And up. The legs should feel different than they felt initially. Sitting back down. You might not feel as much burn. You just might be feeling tiredness. Up. Work on your body position here. Down. Almost to a minute. Just 2 to do. Then we're going to cool down. Up. Heads are up. Down. Get nice and tall. Make sure your chest isn't too far over your bars. Up. There you go. Find that balance. Down. One more up, and we'll be finished with the standing for tonight. Up. Down. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, small ring, easy gear. Let's cool it down. Find a cadence that works for you. Just let it be easy. Try to lighten up your feet so much that your legs, almost like you're, if you've been on a spin bike at a spin studio, that 45-pound flywheel can literally just pull your legs around without much effort. So do that same thing here. Make it feel like that 45-pound flywheel is just pulling your legs around. So let me go through a couple of other things I have on my list here as we cool down. I talked about those wool socks. You might have either a bigger pair of shoes that you wear in the winter, or you get yourself a pair of winter shoes, which are specifically made for that purpose. They've got a little bit more insulation. They don't have any mesh sections to them, so the air can't get in there. They're typically almost like a high top, so that you can keep the cold from getting into your feet. So that's always nice if you have a pair of shoes that are just a tad bit bigger to accommodate those a little thicker socks. If you have booties, which is an overshoe, those can work as long as you have enough air circulation in your shoe. If those are too tight, then more than likely your feet are going to start to sweat or just get cold because they're being squeezed and that circulation can't work so well. I talked about hand warmers. The other part is, one of the things that we don't do enough of when we ride when it's cooler is eat and drink. So when we eat and drink in the colder temperatures, our bodies have to work a little bit harder because they're also digesting the food as we're doing the workout. So therefore, it can kind of help you get a little warmer from the inside out. Or if you have a water bottle that has the capacity to put a warm drink in it, then go for it. If you're ever riding to the point that your water bottles are freezing, it might be too cold for you to be outside. Come in and do a trainer session. That's kind of the gauge, because it's not worth it. The body has to work too hard when it's at that level. So consider that when you're going out. And in the winter time, it's a great time to work on your hill climbing because you're using more energy. It's a great time to go out and do some hard efforts if you want, because you have to work harder, which keeps you a little warmer. And it's also a good time to get out with your friends too, because it's always more fun to ride with people than ride by yourself. So those are my tips for the day, my winter riding tips for the day. If you have any other ones you want to share, of course, the phone lines will open up after we're done. I'd be happy to hear what you have done that might work for you. Going to go another 2 minutes, and then we will close it down for the night. Woo! Another good one. I don't know about you, but that one had me sweating. And I'm almost down to the bottom of my water. Even with all that talking. So if you can get out on Thursday, when we get those 70-degree temperatures that Kristen has out in Kansas, take a day off of work and go for a ride. It is just spectacular out there. I went mountain biking with a couple of athletes on Sunday. We were in Lewis Morris, and we were riding down this one trail, and I swear I felt like I was in an orange tunnel. It was just so spectacular. I couldn't believe how beautiful it was in the woods. So if you don't want to get on your bike over the weekend when it's a little colder, go for a hike right now, because man, it is worth it. All right. Great job, everybody. Time to open up the phone lines. Woo!